everyone, if you want to get inspiration, motivation, and hacks about life, career, and writing, this is the channel for you. I am ERR Stories, and welcome to Life Thoughts and Inspirations TV. Hello everyone, especially to the grade 7 and 10 students. I am ERR Stories, and yes, this is not a vlog, but a congratulatory message for you guys because you have come this far. Of all the challenges that you have experienced, including that of surviving your studies while we are on pandemic, is something that is really commendable. So congratulations. And special thank you as well to all my teachers, my beloved alma mater, for inviting me to be your speaker for your recognition. 79. Well, 79 may be a passing rate already to some. For Philippines to be ranked 79th among all the other countries that took the 2018 Program for International Student Assessment is something that is very alarming. Just to imagine, among all the grade 10 students all over the world, our grade 10 students were ranked the bottom. And this had something to do with our reading, mathematics, and science related literacy. Now, we get to ask ourselves, is the Philippine education competitive enough to really prepare our students to be globally ready in the future when the time comes? Are we responsive enough to equip them with the skills that they need so that they will be able to rise and bring that Philippine flag all over the world? What will happen with the ASEAN integration when our literacy, even in reading, when English is like our second language already, or to some a primary language among Filipinos, we are still at the bottom. With the technology coming into play and the Philippines still being a developing country, we get to realize that there's so much more areas to improve on in terms of the Philippine educational system. Do we just forget about the result of this exam and just continue with our lives? Or do we take this result as a challenge for us to start anew, to reflect on what we have, and to improve on the system of our Philippine education? In 2019, the Secretary of Education has released the so-called Educalidad, which highlights on the four key pillars of education, as she may say, that the Department of Education needs to improve on. So number one that Secretary Briones has identified is the review of the K to 12 curriculum. And then number two is that of the integration of technology. How do we use technology in terms of improving the learning environment of our students? And also the third one is the readiness of our teachers, the upscaling and the retooling of our teachers. And the last is the engagement of the stakeholders in the community to promote quality education among the Filipinos. And with those initiatives, I am very happy that in a way, the Department of Education has really recognized the need to review all of these things to ensure that you guys, grade 7 to 10, and actually even from preschool up to grade 12, are ready and are prepared for the global demands of the 21st century. So that's something that we should really be happy about. In fact, the implementation of the senior high school is also an attempt of the government for us, for our country to be really ready and competitive, because among all the other countries all over the world, I think it's just the Philippines before and somewhere a few countries that have not really implemented the K to 12. And when we have implemented it, more or less, we were able to little by little flatten the curve of the disparity of education. Now, what is the relevance of all of this to you guys, those who are receiving the certificate or the recognition that you are honor student, you've ranked this and that? What do you think is your role now in nation building as a youth? While the Department of Education, our teachers, the academe are doing their best to improve the system of education, from your end, guys, the challenge for you is to use whatever education that you will get from your teachers, from the school, to develop our nation, to rise up and be able to speak and stand for that challenge of our national hero, Jose Rizal, who said that you guys are the hope of this nation. So I am here as your big sister, and I would like to share with you some things that you can do as grade 7 to 10 students, young people, to help us develop a nation that is globally competitive, not only for this year, next year, but for all the succeeding years and beyond, until we have realized that goal, that we will no longer be a developing country, but a developed country that has people who are competitive, who are talented, and who can really stand firm against all the other nations. So, number one, letter R is actually for you to rise up, to rise up as a youth. Use your education for you to be able to speak for the truth, speak for equality, speak for innovativeness, speak for improvement. And with this, what I meant is you don't just limit what you've learned on the four corners of the school, but use your knowledge, use whatever things you have learned to improve your life and the lives of the people around you. So use that skills, use the talents that you have in order to help other people as well. Because if you just let that learning within you and don't use it to make a positive difference, then it's actually useless. So you have to rise up for that. Reach out to your classmates or schoolmates who are struggling, because you guys are those that are who will be receiving the award, right? That means you are smart, that means you are talented. But don't just limit it to you and your friends. Reach out to those who cannot really cope, especially with the pandemic happening, right? With the virtual learning and blended program taking into picture, you as an awardee should also be able to reach out to your classmates and schoolmates who are struggling. Offer them tutorials if needed, offer them support if needed. Just be able to reach out. Rise up and reach out. Letter R. Letter I, which is the next one, is for you to influence your generation with positive study habits and with good habits in particular. You have the overall control. You are exposed to social media. You can just easily post anything on Facebook, on your TikTok, on your Twitter, and the likes. But sometimes what's sad is rather than using this technology to influence people to have a positive change, you use this technology to trash talk, to speak ill of other people. So let me take this opportunity to remind you guys to use the things that you've learned in the room to influence people for positive change. Use the technology to do so. Letter S is actually something that sometimes we overlook, and this is to show appreciation to the people behind you, supporting you for you to get this good education. Show your appreciation to your teachers, to your parents, and even to the community who who will provide this quality education for you. Be able to show support and appreciation for them. And the last letter is letter E, which is to continue educating yourself to keep going. With this, what I meant is while your teachers provide you with the education, with the learning that you need, also make use of technology for you to explore more and to develop more about yourself. You see, quality education is the overall goal of the Department of Education, including our teachers, including our principal, the academic team. But without you, students, um, standing firm and owning it to yourself, like you really want to have this quality education, it will be useless, right? So when they feed you with the learning that you need, you as a student should be able to discover more about yourself, use the technology around you to learn deeper, to know more, and to understand better. When you apply all these tips, which is RISE actually, R is reach out to your classmates and to your friends who are lagging behind. I is for you to influence positive change, good habits through the use of technology. S is for you to show appreciation to your teachers and to your parents. And letter E is for you to educate yourself more and more. You'd see that at the end of your journey as a student, you will be able to contribute something big as we develop our nation. Today, as you receive your awards, look back on those times when you struggled and you were able to overcome. Be grateful of what you have and keep going. Congratulations again, and I am so proud of you guys. God bless you. Thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to your friends. And yes, always remember Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Bye-bye!